The growth group exercise for this week is what I'm calling the reconciliation exercise. There have been a couple of these growth groups where I've said, hey, we're going to start easy. It's just going to be we're not going to go real deep. And I've warned you a couple of times that we were going a little bit deeper. Okay, I'm going to be real blunt, real frank, real out in the open with you. We're diving into the deep end this week. This is going to be, or could very well be, a very difficult exercise. The purpose of this exercise is to make an effort to reconcile a relationship where there's been some sort of discord or distance, or you might even say estrangement. Now, when I say the word reconciliation and say we're going to reconcile, I have a feeling that some of you might have no clue at this point of anyone with whom you might have a difficulty or a problem. And others of you may be very well aware, the minute I say reconciliation, of who it is and 10 reasons why you don't need to reconcile. Well, this exercise is going to kind of take us through some steps that we can take to address relationships that need reconciliation. Okay, we have 2 weeks between our meetings. So the first week, here's what I want you to do. In the first week, I want you to read the following passages each day. And as you read these passages, I want you to pray, asking God to bring to your mind a relationship in which you have experienced anger, frustration, or bitterness, a relationship in which you need to seek reconciliation. Here are the passages. Matthew 5:12. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Matthew 5:21 through 26, which includes the following. Therefore, if you are offering your gift at the altar, and there remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First go be reconciled with them, then come and offer your gift. Matthew chapter 6, verse 12. Part of the Lord's Prayer. And forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. Matthew chapter 7, verses 1 through 5. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there's a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite, first take the plank out of your own eye, then you will clearly see to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Matthew 18, verses 21 and 22. Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times? And Jesus answered, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. And finally, Philippians 2, 3 through 4. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. So the first week, I want you to read these verses on a daily basis and pray, Lord, open my eyes, show me where there's a need for reconciliation. And on the website, LafayetteChurch.org, under ministries, under growth groups, you can see that list. You can print it out. So you don't have to remember it just from my talking here. Okay, part 2, the more difficult part of the exercise, is during the second week. And what I want you to do is make contact with one person with whom you would like to reconcile, or with whom you know you need to reconcile. As you do that, maybe you need to have a difficult conversation with the person. Tell that person how you are feeling as a result of some unpleasant interaction that has divided you, and explain that you don't want there to be anything between you. Maybe you need to ask a person for an explanation about their side of an event that separated you. And rather than stopping them every few moments to tell them where they're wrong or interject your thoughts, listen carefully as they talk without interrupting them. Let them finish. Make reconciliation a more important goal than winning an argument. Listen without interrupting. Maybe you need to apologize to them for your contribution in the misunderstanding or the problem. Maybe after hearing them out, after discussing and listening to one another, you need to just agree to disagree and say, hey, we're never going to see eye to eye on this. We're never going to agree on what happened or whatever, but let's just agree that our relationship in Christ is more important than the disagreement that we've had. Agree to disagree. And finally, maybe you need to express forgiveness. To genuinely say from your heart, I'm sorry, I apologize, I forgive you, or I forgive you. But expressing forgiveness and expressing apology, owning your part of the conflict, whatever it might have been, however small it might have been, is an important part of doing this. All right, we're diving in deep. And as you might think, the conversation starters are going to be about, what made this so difficult, and what role does pride play in making it difficult, and how important is humility. Those are going to be the conversation starters, and you'll be able to get those on the website as well for the next meeting. I hope and pray that this exercise will be one that leads you to have one difficult conversation, with your goal being not to win an argument, with your goal being to really understand more than to be understood, and with a goal of being, I want to own my part and I want to let it go. And I hope this reconciliation exercise helps you do just that.